Hello explorers, welcome back. It should be Travel Tuesday, but as you guys know, December is going to be all over the place. I'm not cash stuffing in December, mainly because I don't have money to cash stuff. First of all, I want to thank all of you guys for commenting on my video, positive things about the fact that, I had to put expenses on the credit card after I just worked so hard to pay it off. It's really unfortunate. I thought I would be able to pay it off by the end of the year, and honestly, I should have been able to. However, the two payments that I knew were supposed to be coming have yet to come. One was supposed to come on Friday. One was supposed to have come by Wednesday of last week. The other one should have came by today. I cannot seem to get a hold of the brand for the one that was supposed to come last Wednesday. They are just not responding at all, which it's a good chunk of change. And they've been very responsive up till apparently that point. I'm hoping it's just that they went on break early. I know a lot of brands have. And then the other one I just spoke with my manager about, and she said that it's supposed to come by January 9th, which is really, really frustrating, and here's why. It was one that she signed me, but they worked through a platform. I've worked through this platform many times. The way that it works is you upload your content into that payment portal. And once you've done all of that, it tells the brand that you have completed everything. And then it pretty much initiates payment from there. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to send the brand an invoice or anything. So that's what I did. Once I got the approval and I posted and I uploaded everything into the portal by the dates that I was supposed to, everything was good to go. That was November 23rd, which meant I should have been paid by December 23rd. However, they put in this the way that the portal is set up is that your brief is in there, your contract is in there, and then they have to manually add, per your contract, the pieces of content that you're supposed to be doing. Like the spots for it in there. I don't really know how to explain it, but that way, once I complete the stuff that I'm supposed to do, I then have to go in and I manually upload the links for each of those pieces of content. And then it will recognize, okay, you've done 0 out of 1 or 1 out of 1 or whatever. And once it shows that, okay, I have uploaded into all the spots that they have put into my specific campaign, then I'm complete. The problem is this brand kind of messed up, and they added spots for additional content. Like if it was optional additional content, but the platform doesn't recognize that. So the platform was recognizing that I hadn't completed it because the brand put in extra spots on there. Meanwhile, I had completed it per the brief, my contract on the platform, my contract that they had me sign in my email, my contract that my agency signed, all of the contracts, I had completed all of the content by the dates, everything. But the platform hadn't recognized it. So while I was in Austria, I emailed my manager and I said, hey, can you just check with this brand that they have me down as complete. Here's what's going on. They added in these extra spots. And so that platform is not recognizing that I have completed this campaign, but I have. And she was like, yeah, let me double check. And then she said, did you cross-post to TikTok like you were supposed to? And I said, I was not supposed to cross-post to TikTok. It's not in any of the 3 contracts I have. It's not in the brief. And so she double-checked it and she was like, okay, yep, I've already spoken with the brand. That was their fault. They meant to put that in the contract and they didn't, so you're good to go. And an invoice has been sent. They're going to go ahead and just pay based off invoice. Okay, no problem. Doesn't really matter to me. I posted November 23rd, just so you know. Well, this is where I get frustrated with my agency. My agency delays sending out invoices until they've confirmed with the brand that the brand has everything that they need. And that kind of pisses me off because that's not the way that I run things. As soon as I post my content and I have posted everything, I send an email to the brand that includes the invoice, the links to the content that I've done, and just confirming that they have, I just asked for confirmation that they have received the invoice. When you work on that platform, those steps aren't necessary. However, my agency waits until the brand confirms that they have received everything, and then they send an invoice. So my agency didn't send the invoice until December 9th. which means my payment is now not due until December 9th, despite the fact that I completed the campaign on November 23rd. So had I not actually reached out to my agency and said, hey, can you double check with them that they have me confirmed? Because it's still showing in here that I'm not complete, but I'm complete. I've been complete since November 23rd. Like, had I not reached out, I just would not have gotten paid. And that's where I get really, really frustrated, because that invoice should have been backdated to November 23rd. Because based off my contract and the way the brand set everything up, I should have been good based off of the way that the platform was set, which was, again, the platform shows that I uploaded everything November 23rd. Just because they decided instead, since they messed up in doing the inputs on the platform and added extras, so they decided we'll just go ahead and invoice instead. That should not affect my payment date in any way. I should still be getting paid based off of the contract, which is 30 days from the date that I post. So I need to have a conversation with my agency, because this isn't the first time, it isn't the second time. It's like the 15th time they've done this. And so normally that wouldn't be a huge, well, actually, no, that is a huge deal, because that's a big difference in time. That's over 2 weeks difference. But the biggest problem is that means I'm not getting that paycheck until after all of my bills are due. And I literally have no money in my account, like nothing. We've had to continue to use the credit card for groceries. Luckily, we don't need gas because we don't really go anywhere. We haven't gone anywhere. Like, literally, we have not gone anywhere except the grocery store. We went to Target once so that I could film a campaign that I got last minute that I signed myself, thankfully. But otherwise, we haven't gone anywhere, so we haven't used gas. We haven't been to the bank because there's no reason to go to the bank. So it's just been groceries we've been putting on there, and then I did put our storage unit bill on there. That is set up for automatic payment, and for some reason they notified me and they said, hey, your automatic payment didn't come through this month. Like, we don't know what happened. We've never had this happen with you. So I just went in and manually paid it. Must have been a glitch on their end, because I have it set to, like I said, auto pay. But it kind of worked out because I was able to just pay it with the credit card to preserve the little bit of funds that I have in my bank account. And then on the 19th, Disney passes come out. Those come out of the credit card. I normally pay those back immediately. Right now, I'm not touching any cash that I have or any money that's in my bank account. Like, this is literally the money from unstuffing those challenges. I'm not touching it until I know for certain that my bills are paid. So right now, we're not doing any cash stuffing. We are not doing any cash stuffing. I'm going to have to rework some stuff and figure some stuff out. This is super, super frustrating. I'm stressing out. Like, I am, but I'm not. Because at the end of the day, this is why we cash stuff. I have funds. I have money in hotel. I have money in flights. I have money in, various holiday envelopes. And I have money in various travel funds. And I have money in high yields. So at the end of the day, I could pull that money. But I want to wait until the very last minute because I don't want to have to pull it if I don't have to. But that's just a little bit of an update. Oh, and that's why I wanted to thank you guys. I wanted to thank you guys for being so encouraging when I was fully transparent about the credit card. Not a single person was like, you just paid this off. Like there was nothing, no one said anything negative. Every single person was positive and was like, you know what, things happen. That's why you work so hard to pay it off for times like these when you might need it. And so I really appreciate it because I was very hard on myself about it because I did work so hard to pay it off. It is not maxed out. It's not even close to maxed out. It's not even halfway. It doesn't, like, the balance is not even that. And once season picks up again and it kind of, once the season kind of picks up again and I start getting campaigns again, which usually will happen hopefully end of January to February sometime-ish, one campaign and I'll be able to pay it off, which is what I'll do. So that is that. But we are going to go ahead and go over what I spent. I know, all this talk of credit cards, and now I'm about to... I've been avoiding looking at it, and... Okay. Sorry about that. Had to deal with some stuff. But... yeah, this isn't fun. It's not fun to have to go over this and look at this, knowing that I had it paid off. But it is what it is. And if I'm going to be 100% honest on this, I am not going to know what most of these charges are because they're all in German. So they make absolutely zero sense to me. Full honesty, full transparency. I will do my best. I will do my best. Okay. So we don't have any charges from December 1st because I guess we just don't. They go on the credit card based off of when they clear the account, and so apparently nothing cleared on the 1st. We flew out on the 1st. So the very first day that we have charges is December 2nd. And this says it is relay. This is going to be airport. I have no idea. It must be one of the like little cafes or something, and it was for $15.47. We then have McDonald's. We did get McDonald's breakfast. Yes, we got McDonald's breakfast at the airport. Why did I do that? I was thinking breakfast, so I put breakfast. And that was $25.62. Same day. These are all going to be from airport. So then we had MCO, which is our airport. And it says Cibo Express. No idea what that is. But it was for $14.24. Then we have the food court. MCO. Food court. It literally just says food court. $9.79. I want to say this is when the kids got, or when Wrigley got like Wetzel Pretzel to take onto the plane. Then we have Sbarro, which was Lennox's Pizza, for $7.23. She got a second piece. Because we have another one here. This was when I think her and Corey got it. I don't know. These are all of our various foods. We all ate at different places. And then we got food to take onto the plane because we knew it was going to be it was a very long flight. And then we had Chick-fil-A. That was Corey. That was $9.82. Jeez. And then we have Air Canada, and this was our checked luggage. Let's put flights for this one. And that was $75. So I want to do this a little bit different. So we usually eat before we go, especially when we fly international. However, this was not considered an international flight. We actually didn't even fly out of the international terminal because apparently when you fly to Canada, you still stay in the domestic terminal, the same way that you do when you go to Cancun. So we still were in the domestic terminal, which was so bizarre. where was I going with this? I don't even know where I was going with this. Oh, and so international flights tend to leave later in the night. They leave around like 5 o'clock. Like when we go to France, when we went to London, those ones left later in the day, like 5 p.m. So we ate all day at home and then we went to the airport. Domestic flights, our domestic flight was at 11 a.m. So we had to get there early. So we were literally there like all day, which is why we had breakfast and lunch. So we spent $105. And that is on airport food. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be, considering that was breakfast and lunch. And then this is luggage. Okay. Then on December 3rd, we landed in Canada, which these, mind you, these are all going to be a day later than when they actually occurred. All of these were on December 1st. This next one is on December 2nd, because we landed in Canada. But my credit card shows them based off when they cleared, not when the charges were actually made. So when we got to Toronto Airport, I got Built Burger. And you guys, this airport was so expensive. Like, our airport is regular prices. Like, MCO Airport, the food there is the exact same price as, like, my McDonald's down the street. This was not. I got Built Burger, and it was the most basic burger I've ever had. I got a single burger. And when I say, like, basic burger, like, this was, like, McDonald's tastes better than this burger did. And the only thing I had on it was cheese. And it was $18.45. That was with a drink. The only reason it ended up being this, it actually was like 22 or something, but I forgot, like, at the time I was so upset. I was like, $22 for this. But then I forgot that once it converts into USD versus Canadian, it drops the price because the US dollar is stronger than the Canadian dollar. So anything we spent in the Canadian airport, once it cleared our bank account, was going to be less. Versus when we're in Europe, where it ends up clearing and it's more expensive. So it was ended up being $18.45. And then Corey went and got the kids, like him and the kids, oh, some of these were once we got, I see, okay. So these were drinks that we got before getting on the flight so that we could actually, like, have something to drink on the flight. So this is just one of those little convenience stores. Everybody got, like, a bag of chips and a drink. And this actually wasn't too bad. It was $13.77. For 4 people to get a drink and a bag of chips, that's actually very reasonable. And then the rest... Nope, this one is also it. I don't know what this one is. It must be... maybe that was only for 3 of us. Because then we have Jetbox International, which was another little quick service thing for drinks or whatever, and that was $9.70. So this was, I want to, like, total these up as I go, just because I want to, it makes it easier when I input them in my book. So $41.92. Okay. Once we got into Austria, Lennox and I, okay, well, once we got into Austria, we had to purchase our ticket from the airport to the apartment, and that was OEBB ticket. That ended up being $34.73. The kids were free, so that was just Corey and I. But then we had to take 2... I don't know how this is working. I don't know. We have 2 other charges for tickets as well on the same day. So maybe it was later. I have no idea. But it was Vienna, and this was transportation. We literally went back to the apartment and we just absolutely crashed. So one was for $2.80, one was for $5.59. That's $34.73 plus $2.80 plus $5.59. So we have $43.12. And that was transportation. And then the last charge we have on that date is McDonald's. Lennox and I walked to the McDonald's at midnight from the apartment because it was the only thing that was open. And that was $38.26. Okay. The next day, we went to the grocery store. We went to, what is it called? Aldi. But there it's called Hoferdankt. Hoferdankt? I don't know. But it's Aldi. It's literally same symbol, same everything. Let me bring you guys down so you can actually see. We're going to put food, but that was grocery. That was $91.80. Then we also went to, that day, we went to the Haribo store. What do I want to call this one? Maybe activity? Because I don't want to count this in food. And we spent a lot of money here, which I fully intended on doing. I did not say no to anything. And I literally let the kids get whatever they wanted. And then Corey and I basically grabbed one of like everything that we have never tried before. My only rule was that we weren't getting things that we can get in the United States or that we've tried before. So we spent $72.82. We ended up getting, well, I don't want to talk too much about what we got because we did a whole video on that, so you guys will see that pretty quickly. We haven't put any of the Austria videos out because we still had 2 London videos to complete before, like, when we left for our trip. So those got completed already. They are live if you want to go watch those. Those are the final London videos. We were supposed to start the Austria videos yesterday. The first one was supposed to go live, but Corey he's like, he forgot that he still needed to make an intro, which that takes a while. And then he had to organize all the content. So it's going to take him a little bit to get through things. So that was that. And then we have, I think the rest are transportation. Okay, here is where, so we ended up getting we paid for one transportation. We paid for one ticket, or one, like, I don't know. Oh, they call them autobus. So we paid for one autobus ticket. It was for each of us, Corey and I. The kids are free. And then he was like, you know what, do you want to we ended up just paying for a 24-hour ticket because we knew we were going to be doing a lot that day. So we ended up doing that. That was on this day. Because this was just a one-way ticket. And we're like, this is silly. Why do we keep doing this? So then we ended up paying for a 24-hour ticket. And it was $18.61. And that was for both of us. That same day, we went to, I have no idea what this is. I'm assuming it's something at a market. I really truly do not know what this is. It says DM FIL A1 EN. That's a 1. So I have no idea. It is $9.42. So this is transportation. $2.79. $18.61. That's $21.40. Transport. $91.80. Food. $72.82. Activity. $9.42. We're going to put unknown because I really have absolutely no idea what that is. Okay. December 5th, which again was actually probably the 4th. This is where we were like, okay, if we're going to keep using these rides, let's just pay for a 7-day ticket. And that covered us for the rest of the trip. We didn't have to pay for any more transportation. And that was... at least not for Austria. That was $46.01, and that was for Corey and I. Then on December 5th, we had something that says pizzeria, which is funny because we didn't have any pizza at all. That's really, yeah, I have no idea what that is. It's funny how these are coming up because we didn't go to any kind of pizzeria place. But apparently it was food of some kind, and that was $40.29. We also had gastronomy. Again, no idea what that is. Obviously, food of some kind. $32.58. Then we had somebody in our, I think it was Corey and Wrigley. Oh no, this is when we got McDonald's breakfast. So we got McDonald's breakfast. It was like the only thing by our apartment. And everything closed so early. So that was $42.39. Then we have here, whatever this is, it was probably a booth at the market. Yeah, that's got to be the market. So we'll put food, and it was $11.56. This says it's merchandise, but we didn't buy anything, so I have no idea what this is. But it says GS Top Event. So I'm going to put a question mark. And that is $17.52. We're going to put unknown. Let's see. Food this day. $40.29. $32.58. $42.39. $11.56. Oh, you know what? I know what this one is, I think. I do. I know what this one is. So we got hot chocolate. And I know that sounds expensive, but the hot chocolates were $5 each. I got one, Lennox got one, Wrigley got one. That's $15. Well, euros. But then they take a €5 deposit. So it ended up being 30 euros. And then after conversion, obviously it was $32.58. But then once we turned the mugs back in, I got that 15 euros back in cash. So that's why this one was so expensive. And then we had one more that I want to add on here because it's also, I believe, a food. Yeah. Gast Haus Hansi I think this was maybe a refill on hot chocolate. I'm not certain, but I know it's food. So $10.51. So then for food, we spent $137.33 on food, and that was at the market. Well, and McDonald's breakfast. Okay. Still on December 5th, we have 2 more charges, and that is WC. WC is bathroom. This was at the market. And this was at the market at City Hall, Vienna City Hall. Bathrooms were 50 cents. So they ended up being 58 cents in USD after conversion. So we spent $1.16 on the bathroom. This will also help me when I go to do my taxes. Alright, so now December 6th, we have... I have absolutely no idea. I do know the first thing we did was go to McDonald's. This day, I know, we ate a lot of McDonald's. We really didn't like the food in Austria. I'm not even gonna lie. We did not like the food there. And again, things closed so early. So we went to the McDonald's, but this one was for our actual food video. And we spent $82.61. That's why it's so high. We buy one of everything that's unique on the menu. And we do a video trying everything. So that's why this one was so high. That's actually why the day before we had the breakfast, because they had unique things on their breakfast menu. So the day prior we did breakfast, and then the next day we did the lunch. So that's why there were those 2 McDonald's. Normally we would not have McDonald's as much in a trip. That is for sure. Then it looks like we only spent money on food this day. Although this one says, okay, this one I do know. I'm going to do the food first. So this one says, okay, Phil. 1713. It says it's grocery, so I must have stopped somewhere and just bought drinks. Then we have... This one says it's dining, so I don't recall eating in Austria that much. We did bring food with us, thankfully, because we just didn't care for the food. It was very bland, very boring. $27.81. And then the next one says grocery, so we must have stopped and got drinks again. City shop. Food. I think this was actually at the train station. We would stop and get drinks at this little like convenience store at the train station because it was cheaper than getting them at like the markets. Plus a lot of the markets only had like hot chocolate, wine, or coffee. And this way we could get like water, juice, drinks, whatever, Gatorade. I actually brought an entire case of Gatorade, an entire case of Dr. Pepper, and then an entire case of Fiji water to the apartment. And we went through that so fast because we were just so thirsty. Yeah, I don't care. So there's that. So then the last charge on December 6th, this one was a souvenir purchase. I cannot say what it is because there was a Christmas present in this. So I'm going to put shopping. Wrigley did get some gloves too, but I don't think those were from this shop. Those were from a different shop. But I spent $33.87. It was the first thing we actually bought on this trip. What? Yes. Alright, so food. Well, let's do this. $33.87. Shopping. And then food was $82.61. $8.18. $27.81. $13.72. $132.32. on food. Okay, here's where this day is very, very expensive. So on December 7th, which was actually December 6th, we decided, you know what? Let's go to Hungary. So at Rail Europe. Oh, you know what? I know what these charges were. These were not all this. I need to redo some of this. No, never mind. That's coming up. Okay. So Rail Europe. This would be transportation. This was our train from Vienna, Austria to Budapest, Hungary. And it was $210.41, which was, I didn't realize was very expensive. I don't know why it was so expensive on the way there. It just was. I did pay to reserve seats, and thank goodness I did, because there were people sitting on the ground for the entire 3-hour train ride because all of the seats were full. Because you don't have to pay to reserve a seat. You can just pay for a ticket that gets you on the train, and then wherever, you sit in a seat until somebody's like, hey, I paid for this seat, and then they have to move. That happened to us. But I didn't want to risk it, so I paid the 14 euros to reserve seats. Thankfully, so glad that I did. So we had reserved seats because I would not have wanted to sit on the ground during that whole train ride. So I still don't know why it was so expensive on the way there, because you'll see in a couple days, once we get further in and we go back, the price of it to go back. So that was that. 210.41 transport. So this same day, we booked our hotel. So I'm just going to put Budapest Hotel. It was not a hotel, it was an apartment. I booked this through Booking.com. It was actually my first time using Booking.com. I always book direct, so this was different for me. But it was $346.10 for, I think I booked 4 nights. We only stayed 3 nights because I didn't, on the 4th, the night that would have been the 4th night, I didn't want to I could have only done 3 nights. But on our 4th day, I didn't want to have to check out at 10 a.m. So I went ahead and booked that night as well, so that we could just check out whenever we were ready. So we stayed 3 nights, and then on our 4th day, we stayed until 11 o'clock at night, and then we caught an overnight train back to Vienna, and it worked out beautifully because I didn't want to have to wake up early, rush, whatever. We spent the whole day in Budapest on that 4th day, and then once we were done with everything, I booked us a train and we went back. Versus having to be out of that apartment at 10 a.m. and either catch a train early and hit rush hour and pay surge pricing, or walk around Budapest with all of our luggage. So I'm so glad I paid the extra. It did cost me a lot of extra though, because for just the 3 nights, it was $133. That 4th night was a lot more expensive, but I did not care. I did not care because that was still a really good price. That was less than $100 per night. So totally fine by me. And we were in such an ideal location. I can't wait for you guys to see all this content. 12. Oh, wait. We didn't have anything on 12/8. All of this went live on on 12/7. This all cleared on 12/8. So we had OK Fill again. All right, so this OK Fill up here was actually from Budapest, because here it is again. And I think we went there several times. It was the little convenience store next to our apartment in Budapest. Then we have, no, that must be, I don't know. Things are coming through random. So this one is 1090 Vienna. I don't know, it's food. It says it's dining. 1973. Again, no idea what it is. We have 2 at this place. It says it's merchandise, which is odd because I didn't buy things in Vienna. Like, we didn't bring back any souvenirs from Vienna except Wrigley got a pair of gloves. And then I bought something, like one thing. So, I don't know what this stuff is. But it says souvenirs, so we're going to put shopping. It says this one is $3.39, and it says this one is $22.53, which the $22.53 I believe was his gloves, because he forgot his gloves in the apartment, and we had to take like 4 trains to get to this one market, so I was not about to go all the way back to get his gloves, but it was way too cold to not have them. And then you can tell we get into Budapest because things start changing as far as foods go. There is one more at this OK Fill thing, so let's go ahead and put that in there. I'm assuming maybe the 7th was a weekend and that's why nothing cleared on the 7th and everything cleared on the 8th. Maybe it was a Sunday. That would make sense too. This one was $14.36, and then now we'll go into Hungary. Now, Hungary was so incredibly cheap, like so cheap. However, the markets were insanely expensive. So this, I don't know what it is. It says it's other services, so maybe this is one of the trains we took. I truly could not tell you. I am working on learning Hungarian. This does say it's services. We're going to put question mark here, and that's 92 cents. 12.8. CBA. This one says it's food. It says grocery for $8.74. This one says FestiPay. I think FestiPay. Okay, so FestiPay were right next to our apartment in Budapest. There was a Christmas market. Like, you literally had to walk through the Christmas market to get to our apartment. And it was, like I said, insanely expensive. But every single thing we had was delicious. So this was $9.18, and I think that was just the beer that I got for Corey. Like, literally, that was the only thing. And then, this, we got 2 items. 2 food items. $42.84. Granted, they were large servings, but still, like, it was just so expensive. So, yeah, this has got to be multiple days because we didn't eat more food that day. Actually, this one we did. So this one is Lennox's, or Lennox and Wrigley's Pizza, I believe. Hello Pay. Oh yeah, this was Pizza Me. This was Corey and I got these to share. The kids got Pizza Me, and it was actually insanely inexpensive because it wasn't from the market. So for both of them to get pizza, it was $13.64. Then we have grocery. Oh, this was in Vienna. We have 3 charges. I'm just gonna put times 3 because I'm not about to put all this. It says NYX OEBB. This was the bathroom. This was when we had to go to the bathroom at the train station. The kids and I, because there's 3 charges for 58 cents. And then we did our Hungary McDonald's video, which, oh my gosh, spoiler, amazing. And here, we literally ordered so much food. There's going to be 2 McDonald's charges because we did breakfast and then we stayed late enough to do lunch. So $62.92. We bought a bus pass. So Budapest Go. And that was $6.12. So this is $6.12. Transport. $1.74. Bathroom. Shopping, $3.39, $22.53. It's $25.92. $5.49, $19.73. $25.22 for food here. This one is unknown for 92 cents. Could have been a bathroom, who knows. $14.36 food. $8.74. $9.18. $42.84. $13.64. Oh, plus $62.92. $137.32 for this one and that one. $137.32, and that was multiple days. So the food was getting better. Food prices were getting better. Okay. Yeah, some of these don't make sense because we paid for like ice skating and stuff like that, and I don't see those charges on here. So it's got to be some of these like random ones that maybe came up as food that weren't, because we had to pay for ice skating. Like we paid for our skate rentals, we paid for the locker, we got hot chocolate again. So that's where I'm just like, I don't know. So I said this one's really hard because nothing's in English. This one says entertainment. It says Hello Pay, which I know is just the payment service that they're using. And then it says KER. We're going to put question mark because it's $1.22. And we're going to put unknown. This is why I need to do this when I'm actually there. We actually have quite a few for those. Wait. Because here's another one for that same place for the exact same price twice. So this must be at one of the markets. Because let's get rid of that unknown. Because here's another one. It says it's in Budapest, but it was $10.71. There's another one for $39.78. Another one for $39.78. That makes me wonder, like, why do we have two for the exact same price? I need to go through my receipts. The only thing is, it's hard to go through the receipts because the receipts are going to be in foreign. Let's total all this up because I have no idea what this is. $91.49. I'm going to put a question mark for right now. Ooh, I'm going to need to print another one of these. I don't think I printed enough. Okay. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so then we have, all of these came through on 12/9, so it must have been like weekend stuff again. Muller, Hungary. It says merchandise. Oh, that makes sense. I went shopping on this day. I did go shopping on this day. So that was $67.58. $12.09. This one is CBA. This one says grocery. This must be the grocery store that was by our apartment. So we'll put food. $5.95. MCD, that is not McDonald's. I don't believe. Because McDonald's actually comes up as McDonald's. Yeah, no, this isn't McDonald's. We only went to one McDonald's in Hungary. So this has got to be one of the... I'm just going to do this because it's on here 3 times. It says it's dining though, so who the heck knows? It's got to be one of the booths. Because we got a lot of food at the markets in Hungary because the food was so freaking good. And then $5.48. And then we did those. Holy smokes, there were actually more of those Hello Pay. Okay, yep, Hello Pay was definitely the market because I recognized the total on some of these. $12.09. This is Hello Pay Cur. It was $77.72. That was shopping. I'm still questioning that one though that came through twice for the exact same amount because after conversion, like it's odd that it would be the exact same amount because we didn't buy duplicates of anything. And for those to be back to back, that's really got me questioning. This one says Museum Cafe, which is odd because I definitely didn't buy anything for 92 cents. But it says food, so, or it says dining, so we'll take it. Okay. So then, on our way back, Rail Europe. Oop, spelled that wrong. We got first class, and our total was $86.45 for first class versus the $210 that I paid for, like, economy. $12.10. Kurjanto Bistro. That would be food. $23.88. We have 4 charges for $3.89. Yeah, I definitely want to look through my receipts because it doesn't make any sense why we have 4 charges for $3.89. I feel like some of these places may have just seen that I was a tourist and thought that I wouldn't check this. Who made the purchase? It actually does not even say who made it. That's odd. Because normally it tells me, like, if it's Tori or me. It says merchandise for $3.89. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I gotta check that. I think the next trip, I want to take these with me so that I can be writing things down as I actually purchase them. So that I'm not coming home and going, why do I have 5 charges for the exact same amount on the exact same day at the exact same place? Like, because I know that I didn't purchase anything 4 times. This one says, again, that it's merchandise, which, okay, this does make sense because this is right next to a souvenir shop that I spent money at. $42.56. Shopping. And then I went into a souvenir shop. I went into two, actually. I bought from two souvenir shops. And this one is literally just says, oh my gosh, I cannot spell to save my life today. Souvenir shop. $53.89. Janto. Bistro. That says food. $39.80. Budapest Go. This was Corey and I's, yeah, these are coming in super late because we definitely bought this the beginning of our trip, not the end. We bought a train ticket for the entire rest of our stay in Budapest so that we wouldn't have to keep paying for each individual one. And then we've got back to this grocery store. This was definitely the grocery store by the apartment because we went in there like before and after every single place we went because we had to walk past, it was across the street from the train station or like the bus stop, and then it was across the street from the market, and we had to literally walk past it to go to the train station, to go to the train station, to go to the Christmas market, to go to our apartment. Like we had to walk past this one grocery store, so we were buying everything there. We would stop in and get drinks every single time. $9.29, $3.48. MCD. West End. Says it's food. We only went to McDonald's in Hungary once. We should have 2 charges from them, but we only went once. So I actually don't know what these ones are because these are not McDonald's. This says other, so I have no idea. Like as far as it's Kovacs, Kalax. Oh, you know what? I think this one was our, I know what this is. I think this was the chimney cake. The second one. Alright. December 11th. I'm really sorry if this is not entertaining because I would find this absolutely boring if I was you. But I know you guys always ask. So, I put them out. These are definitely not my kind of videos to watch. I don't mind putting them out, but I don't watch these kind of videos. 7.12. So that was grocery. Back in Austria. And wow, seeing how much we ate McDonald's in Austria is kind of embarrassing. But when I tell you we just did not care for the food, and I was not about to, honestly what it was is we ate a lot of foods like at the markets, but nothing would like, it would be like, oh, I got something from the market, but nobody else wanted anything from that particular market, so we would then go get the other 3 people in my family McDonald's. Or Corey would get something from the market to eat, but none of us wanted anything from that particular, because we went to multiple markets. So then the rest of us would get McDonald's. Like, there was not any other fast food near where we were staying besides McDonald's. And there really weren't any restaurants near where we were staying. So, I don't know. We did bring some food with us, but we went through that, like, the first day we were so hungry. And then we found that we just really didn't care for the food at the markets either. So this one says it's dining. I have no idea. I think we only went to the grocery store in Vienna once. Because I bought like butter, salt, pepper. Because I brought Funny enough, I brought Kraft macaroni and cheese with me so that I can make Wrigley macaroni and cheese. Oh, I also obviously bought milk. Because because of the fact that I get tired of seeing him eat McDonald's every single day. So Wrigley actually ate quite a bit of food at the apartment because we went to the grocery store and I got stuff so that I could make his macaroni and cheese that I brought with. We got some freezer foods that he liked. We got pizzas, we got wings. Listen, don't judge me. My kid doesn't eat anything. But this was actually one of those trips where, like, Lennox didn't like anything. Usually she will eat whatever. I did make her spaghetti again, which is funny because if you guys watched my Paris video, you saw that I made her spaghetti in Paris, and that did not end well. Alright, so this one says it's food, $27.35, no idea. This one is odd. It says it's dining, but it doesn't make any sense. Oh, yes it does. This is back at the airport. So I don't know if it's something that they always do, but when we checked in our bag at the airport in Austria, we flew Air Canada, they gave us each a $10 voucher, or a €10 voucher per passport to use at this Henry restaurant. It was literally called Henry's. So it covered pretty much each of us getting food. So like this one, I just had to pay the difference. Lennox got rice, pasta, and a drink, and I had to pay 52 cents. And then I got chicken and rice and a drink, and I had to pay 85 cents. And then the other one, unfortunately, we found out after we had already gotten our food that it wouldn't, like, this place didn't count for using our vouchers. So I did have to pay for this one, and this one was $8. Oh, no, this one was $11.54. That was just one of our other foods. Wow, I really ran out of space, guys. And there's... Okay, I'm not going to print a whole nother one of these because there's just no reason to. So we're just going to write it on the back. I can see the lines through, so it's fine. So this is December 12th. And we have terminal. So that's obviously airport. 804. I'm not writing these in the correct order. Oh well. Airport. We know that's food. We have December 12th again. Relay gate. So we know that's food. 472. Then these aren't food. These are drinks. Definitely drinks. We have Air Canada. This was to check our bag. Not sure why it was a 10-cent difference, but it was $74.90. And this one I'm putting flights. So this was to check our bag on the way back. So on the way there, that checked luggage is what had all of the drinks and the foods that I brought to Austria with us. And you guys, I will do this every single time from now on. So I went there with foods for the kids. I brought like protein bars. I brought macaroni and cheese for Wrigley. I brought cup noodle soup for Lennox. I brought Gatorade, water, sugar-free zero sugar Dr. Pepper because I just get tired of paying for drinks all the time. And then on the way back, we used that suitcase to bring everything back that we were coming back with, which was like obviously $77 worth of Haribo. So it was so worth it. So worth it. What is this? 12. Oh, and then I shopped at the duty free. This was not food. This was $46.36, and this was shopping because it was Christmas for the kids. I got them some stuff. Love me some duty free. Relay, $3.28. Oh, I guess I could have put airport. It doesn't really matter. I know what it is. 12. Relay again for $7.05. Then we have 4 charges for Budapest Go. These are not charges. So these are actually refunds. We didn't use 4 of our tickets that we bought, because we ended up turning around and buying like full day ticket or full trip tickets. We bought individual tickets at first and then we didn't use them, so we turned around and bought like full day tickets, and it said that we like multi-day tickets. It said we could request a refund for the tickets we didn't use. So that's what we did, and that was $1.52 each times 4. And that was negative, so that was credits back to us. Because we never like verified them, we never used them, so we were able to request a refund on those, and that was super easy. Relay again. These were probably multiple airports. Oh, this was our train ticket back to the Vienna airport. So 34.74. Because you have to take a separate train to, it's not like local trains. Anytime you're going to or from an airport, it's going to be more expensive. So that was our train, or our airport transportation train ticket. And then Corey got, from the duty free, he got himself a stein, a beer stein. It was the first one he found that he actually liked, and funny enough, it was from the duty free shop, so we got him that. And then yeah, so that, oh, and then the worst one, on 12/13, we have MCO, $154. That is airport parking. Okay, so let's add everything up. I'm afraid to see this, you guys. I really shouldn't count the luggage because that is something that I didn't actually spend while I was there, but oh well. $20.40, $9.42, $46.01. Plus 137.32. I don't know why I just added $58 to that. 5.95, 25.89. 26.10, 5.48, 77.72, 11.93, 92, 86.45, 23.88, 3.89, 3.89, 3.89, 3.89, 42.56, 53.89, 39.80, 33.68, 9.29, 3.48. Okay, so my camera died. It's probably gonna die again, but here's the total. This includes parking at the airport for 12 days. This includes $150 for luggage. This includes a $300 and something hotel. I think it was $340. $346 hotel. This includes $300 in train tickets just to get to Hungary, and then from Hungary to Austria, not including all of our other transportation that we paid for. So, and that includes food, shopping, bathrooms, that includes going ice skating, that includes spending $77 at the Haribo gummy bear store. I think we did pretty darn well for a family of 4 for 12 days, including all of that stuff. Like, that's a hotel, luggage, parking, train tickets, food, shopping, activities for $2,782. Imagine what that would be if I took out, like, the hotel, the train ticket to Hungary and back, and the luggage, because those are things that usually would be paid for prior to the trip. Those don't really count in our spending because it's not really something we spent money on while we were there. Just like I don't include flights in my spending. So if we took all of that out, we would be under $2,000 for a family of 4 for 12 days in 2 foreign countries during Christmas markets. That is pretty darn good. I'm actually very pleased with that number. So, normally I would sit and like categorize these and tell you how much I spent on food versus how much I spent on airport versus how much I spent shopping, etc., versus how much I spent on transportation. But my camera's going to die, and this has already been a very, very, very long video. So if you want those numbers, let me know, and I will start doing that in future videos. Maybe in future videos, I will actually have this like kind of organized, so that we don't have to go through I'm literally going through my bank statement to do this. So yeah, that is officially all that I have for you guys today. That means that I did this entire trip for around $4,000.